How's everybody doing? First of all, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and Freedom Frog Gear for giving me a shout out and the support. Really appreciate it. Um, so, just want to say thank you to everyone and a big shout out to Freedom Frog Gear for that. So, I had some people at work because they know I have katanas, have swords. Ask why the one thing that samurais didn't use. They're kind of curious because in other cultures they used them, and that was basically a shield. So, and the simple answer to that is because they didn't see it as an essential item. They, because in the feudal wars, it started off on horseback with bow and arrow. And then their military tactics changed over the years, and they used bow and arrow, pole arms like the naginata, the yari. So weapons that would keep their enemies at bay, per se. So it wasn't a big deal for them not to have a shield. And on top of it, the samurai, besides, they would actually carry a tachi, which is longer than this, and the blade's actually facing down, not like that. They would carry sometimes a tanto, because during some of those time periods, the wakizashi didn't exist yet. That was until later. Some of them would carry a naginata on them. And then on top of it, they had their bow, they had their arrows. So there was, being on a horseback is kind of hard with all this other gear on you and to shoot a bow, So they just never adopted shields. Now, from what I've read, lower class foot soldiers who weren't samurai would have a form of shield. These were the guys that, well, if you died in battle, it was like, oh, well, you weren't important, which kind of sucks. So, and the other form of shields, if they did use them, were stationary. They were made out of wooden planks. And basically the archers would hide behind those from the other army, because the other army was shooting arrows at them. So you want to try and take out the people who are launching projectiles, pretty much, is what you want to do. So they would have stationary shields. And people with pole arms would be behind those too until they knew they could advance. So it's a pretty simple question to answer, and I thought some people were asking me at work why they never used a shield. So figured, I'd make a little video about that, because it is like strange. Because even in Chinese history, you see depictions of them having a form of a shield. Of course, medieval, they used shields. But the Japanese, I'm sure there's probably other cultures that I haven't looked, just felt it was an essential item for them. On top of that, their armor, this is not going through armor. That's for sure. It's like this thing. You ain't getting through that with the, with a sword. There's no way. Even medieval swords, not getting through a shield, not getting through their armor neither. With a sword, so you have to look for gaps, and that's kind of difficult to do when you're wearing full body armor, So thought I'd throw that out there for everyone. If anybody's curious, how come they never use shields? Well, they didn't think it was important. So that's all I have for you guys. Have a good one. Thank you again for everyone who subbed. and Freedom Frog gear. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Have a good evening.